Episode 137. You let me know when you're ready, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, once again, thanks everybody for coming on this special day. It's Jason's birthday. I don't have any sound effects over here or anything like that to do.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I got my own sound effects.
I love it. I love it. But hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you're coming in right now, fantastic. There's still time. If you're watching this as a recording, you'll see it on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment, and some captioning. Yeah, we could probably do that. I think, Will, maybe, possibly. On the recording, we definitely can. Let's see if we can fiddle with that right now as well. We have a request for some captioning, Jay, if you have that on Zoom. But that being said, thanks everybody for joining us once again. We've got a special guest, a team member who's been on with us before and has actually done a lot of these raffles many times over and raised a ton of money, as a matter of fact, in a previous position. So he's speaking from experience today, and that's Matt Ashley. We got Jason Ledlow, as mentioned, the birthday boy. I'm Trevor Nelson. Thanks so much, everybody. Q&A function, folks are already using it. Chat function should be live and running. It already is. That's what folks are using. So we got the Q&A function as well at the bottom of the screen if you want to ask any questions along the way. If you haven't been with us before, this is a very interactive webinar. Keep questions coming, thoughts. You agree, you disagree, the whole nine. We'll keep the channels open, and do us a favor and stay till the end and win. And we'll be giving away an item that you can use at your next fundraising event. So we're talking about the never-ending raffle. We've got some really cool feedback, and once again, some really cool experience from Matt. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it. It'd be fun.
We're going to start peppering you with some questions, man.
Well,
so,
you know, as we get started here, one thing I'd just like to say, if you're watching this on YouTube or, seeing the recording, you've got a comment, something you agree, disagree, anything good, bad, or indifferent, please leave that for us. That really means a lot to us. And the second thing is, the best way we get the word out about this information is by referral. So if you hear anything that means anything to you, would you please just share that with somebody in the nonprofit space, another nonprofit professional, volunteer, somebody working. We know it's hard. We just want to get this information out. So if you do that, it'd mean a lot to us. So Matt and I, actually all three of us, we were sitting here having a conversation one day, and we were talking about raffles. We were talking about ways to raise money and how we could do it. And, and we're big on the golden ticket, 100 tickets and everything. And Matt he goes, well, you could make it never ending. And I go, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of I'm kind of a hardliner, you got to have 100 tickets, for $100 or $250. And, you're trying to do a win. And he said, we did this deal one time, or he said did it multiple times back whenever he was a professional fundraiser, and he started telling us about it. And he said, there's a lot of people that'll come up and they'll buy a chance for $100, but they'll come and buy another one and another one and another one. He goes, they get into it and they start having fun.
It's awesome.
And I said, well, let's talk about it more. And actually we developed a product for it. And it's something that we're putting out, and
we're going to test it
really in 2024. We're testing it right now, just trying to get some people to do it. But Matt's got a lot of experience with it. So, Matt, why don't you talk to us, just kind of an overview of the never ending raffle and the application of it, kind of where you'd see it applied, and then we'll get into the mechanics, how it really works.
I'll start kind of sharing a story, Jason. We had an event one time, and you always are trying to anticipate demand and how many people are going to show up at the event and how many, what makes sense to have raffles in the room. And, we had this event open up the doors, and we liked to, in the world that I lived in, we liked limited chance raffles because people love to know their odds, and they just sell better than just an unlimited, ticket raffle. And this event that's just glaring in my mind, we open up the doors, everyone starts coming in. We did have an influx of people that kind of registered that week of the event that we hadn't really prepared for, I guess, on our fundraising side. Anyways, we open up the doors, and within 20 minutes of the doors being open, everyone's not even in the building yet. And all of our limited chance raffles are sold out. And we're kind of scrambling, thinking, man, there's people that haven't even made it in the door. They're willing to buy a raffle ticket. They want to support us, but we're kind of cleaned out. All our raffles are sold out. So we developed this raffle, and it's something we had a ton of success with. And what I did, and like you shared, it was it was a limited chance, which people love. The winner gets the choice of the prize that they get to go home with. So you have a pretty broad range of choices. You sell a certain number of tickets is kind of the concept. And when it's sold out, depending on that timeline of if you have more time within the event, you turn around and you draw a winner, announce the winner, build a lot of excitement, then open it up again and sell another number of tickets. So just for round numbers, in our case, instead of the golden ticket, like we're very used to, 100 tickets at $100, you might back this one down to only 50 chances at $100. So your gross isn't as high, but you're going to increase demand with just a limited number of tickets. You sell those 50 tickets out and you go, wow, those sold out in 15 minutes. We're going to open up another one and sell another round of tickets, another round of 50. And that example, like you explained, there are people that will walk around the room and support you by participating in all the raffles you run. Well, that person will come back and drop another $100 in the second time you run it. And often, there's people that'll drop it in the third round, in the fourth round. So instead of, making $100 off that person, for one round of raffles, your goal, maybe that, as an average, you're selling to your attendees multiple times, I guess. And in the end, your goal with this is to net more dollars, and there's no ceiling on the amount you can raise. I guess you can keep running it throughout the evening as demand and support, a lot too.
Well, that's really where the 350 tickets to Paradise came in, because you had an event that you sold around. Maybe it wasn't exactly 350, but the way I remember the story, it was 350. So I'm going with it.
It's a big one.
But you sold and raised an enormous amount of money, but because it just kept going, and you didn't have to. One of the things I whenever I'm coaching with a client and that we're talking about fundraising and doing all these things, we always get it into one of the worst the feeling in the world is when you're at an event, everybody's into it, that everything is just going right. I always recommend that you build your event, and we have this philosophy in our company: build it so you raise the money. So that way, if it's the worst weather, everything goes bad, things, the stock market crashes, whatever, you're still going to hit your goal. You really got to think that way, because you can't just get there and go, well, let's hope that we raise the money, because your mission depends on it. So we want to do that. But you know what the worst feeling is than having all that stuff happen? Having just crazy amounts of money in the room, everything is going right, and we don't have any other ways to raise money. Now, everybody's going to say, well, that's where the fund of need comes in. I don't disagree. But even at that point, you've got stuff going on, like you said, all of a sudden, this is an opportunity to raise more money, because, it's in the moment. It's right there. It gamifies it. It makes it fun. And you'll have people who will come and give you $100 5-6 times, and they would never give you 500.
100%.
Because there is a chance that they could win something.
Yeah.
And that's why they work. People go, why do you do raffles? Because they work. Right. And that's the whole thing, is it's just gamified. So let's talk about the psychology that you just mentioned. You said, people will come back. Is there something else that you found while you put this in practice, Matt, that you saw maybe the same people coming back? It was people that you raised money for a long time being a professional fundraiser. You did it for a long time. So tell me about that, the psychology at play.
Yeah, well, it's the beauty of this is that, like you were alluding to, there's a low floor but a high ceiling. You can keep running this over and over. And those individuals, like you said, you sell out the first 50, those tickets are gone. You're selling the next 50 in the example, the numbers we're using. And people, they love a chance to play the game, a chance to win. And so they'll get in on the next chance to win the next raffle, and they'll keep playing. So you're not only allowing yourself to sell it to your full crowd, but hopefully, like you said, you're selling it over and over to the same people. I guess they're participating in your raffles. That answer your question?
No, it really does. I think
there's a fear of missing out too. You're talking about the psychology.
The fear of missing out, and I didn't win it, so I'm going to try again.
Yeah,
I'm going to try again,
and
I'm going to try again.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, the psychology that we have, people buy lottery tickets every day. You have statistically, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice sitting in your home watching TV, you know, with a sunny
Eating
sky out,
popcorn.
than winning the lottery. It's just the odds are so enormous.
Yeah.
But yet people still buy them like crazy.
Yeah.
Because they all feel it's that deal. When I do it, I got a chance to win.
There has to be a little bit of a rush.
Win if you don't play.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking like a 1 in 50 chance. That's pretty good odds.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to, like, let's say it's an unlimited raffle and you've sold 300 tickets, which the funny thing is what we've found in our research with nonprofits is most of the time they don't sell 300 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the reason we always say stop at 100 is so that way they can cap it, because that way people know there's a limitation. And I'm not saying that this is right over one or the other. It's just another strategy that you might be able to employ. We talked about, so let's talk about the mechanics of it a little bit. What do you think, how many people do you think you need in the room to really implement this, that it's going to be workable?
Yeah.
Not so much the cost of the ticket, but just the amount of tickets to be able to sell this. Because to really
capacity,
you need to sell it at least three times, right?
Yeah, sense. Yeah, and I guess in the world that I was in, we had all kinds of variations of this. We had a lower ticket value and we had a lower prize value. I think you're better off having a nicer prize and a higher ticket value, or like $100,
like around $100.
I think $100 is a great thing. It's an easy ticket price.
Yeah,
and that gives you great net profit on your time investment in the room, space in the room, but it also gives you the ability to offer some really cool prizes because you can justify it on the expense side. It kind of depends on your event. I mean, I'll always caveat it with that because you have some events that are you might have one raffle in the room, and this might make sense at a 150 people. I would say as a rule 250 to 300 at least, kind of in that world. You get up to the 400, 500, 600, you could do very well with this. But I would say we'll help you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to hear out what your event's like, and we can give you a recommendation if it's a good fit or not.
That's a good idea.
Put together.
We'll always we'd kind of said 300. That way, if you think about 300 people, it's 150. 150 buying units, checkbooks. So that gives you multiples that you could do. So that supply and demand, the fear of missing out.
Because in a big giant room, there's going to be 100 people that didn't get involved in round one, and people are hooting and hollering, "Oh my God, we won!" And they're like, "What did I miss?" And they're exactly rush to it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I envision happening. That's what happened with your events. You're talking about. It kind of came out of necessity. We sold everything because one of the cool things is you've had this where you sold it previously before the event started. And you've sold it out a couple of times before the event even started. There's a pre-event fundraising opportunity, right?
So the first thing out of the box is you got, hey, we're going to just draw some winners, right?
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And we'd had times where we offered limited chance raffles before an event. And it's really hard when that raffle sold out when you get to the event and you think, man, we should have sold more tickets or kind of we shot our own foot. But when you run this, like you mentioned, this method, you might have 1, 2, 3 sold out before the event. Those individuals still get the same odds. You keep those, the first 50 go into a drawing, the second 50 go into a drawing, but you can keep selling at the event. And that's the beauty of it. So you can fire off your event, with some excitement of, hey, we've got 3 winners to draw, right after you open the doors. And
how fun is that? Yeah.
3 people that are stoked. They're going, whatever the prizes are, they'll be really happy. And it'll generate a ton of demand for hopefully additional sales at this raffle.
I love it.
We've got a couple of questions. Can we do Paula's first, Trevor?
Yeah, I was going to say, can we do Jen, yours is awesome. We just want to unpack that. Paula, thanks so much for the kind words. I'm glad you did your drawing, by the way. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Jason, I bought us a couple tickets for that George Strait drawing that
we didn't win.
We didn't win. She said she rubbed the rabbit's foot and all that stuff for us and put some luck on it. But you know what we would have done, Paul? We would have donated it back to your organization, let you sell it to the highest bidder anyway, so you can make more money. That was our plan anyway. So as much as we love George, but I hope it was really successful, Paula.
I want to talk about Paula's question though. What raffle item do you use? So why don't you just give us an example of some things that you did, Matt? Because there's something about this choice that we're going to talk about
get
that I
strategic.
think really made
Yeah.
a difference.
Yep.
Okay.
For sure.
Would you kind of go into that and just give us some examples?
Yeah, I would say the key thing with the prizes are you want a selection. It's helpful if you have a
More than
variety of
one.
prizes that you
Yep.
appeal to multiple interests in the raffle. You don't have
Right.
to have that, but I think it really helps in the sale of your tickets.
Recommended.
The other thing is you want something that doesn't go away when the first winner chooses a prize. And because say if you put out 5 items for people to choose from and one is taken away, there's less variety to, less options to choose from when you run your second drawing. So if you can use something that, you have a display that people can select prizes for, after, and you fulfill them after the event.
Yeah.
It works really well with what we do. And we kind of talked about this on the webinar. We talked about the never
It's
ending
easy
raffle.
from where we're sitting.
Well, let's just be real specific. I think we need to be specific.
Do you have that poster available?
We worked in the conservation world.
Yeah.
You were in the conservation world up in Montana. It's all for hunters and sportsmen and stuff like that. So you would have like maybe a rifle and a shotgun and 4 or 5 things, but you could get more. So in other words, it wasn't like they came and got one. It wasn't a donated item.
It wasn't a one-on-one.
Understand?
Yeah.
These were not donated. They were things that you were buying.
100%. We hadn't bought them before the event, but we knew we could get them after the event. So we have
you didn't even have to buy them before. So it's just like what we do with HGA.
They're consigned, Paula.
You just put it out there and knew that you had the fixed price in.
Yeah.
So when you would do that, and they would go and choose an item, everybody cheers, yay, and then give us just kind of a sense of how quick that next people would line up to do the next 50 when you announced it.
Well, there's kind of a learning curve. I guess the events that have ran it for a few years, those people, they knew they were ready to buy the next round, but you got to teach the crowd that there's going to be another raffle. So your MC is key, or your auctioneer, whoever's running your event on the microphone. But you can have them hype it up. All right, we just drew a winner. We're going to run another one of these. Come on up if you want to get a chance at this raffle. They're going to be sold out. And you get an influx of people, or there'd be people standing there waiting at the drawing to see who won, and then they'd get their money back down on the table to be in the next drawing, wanting a chance at the next one. So it's critical to have that hype man, I guess, for the raffle. You need that for everything in your event, I guess, to make it fun. But
did you continue doing this throughout the entire night, or did you just finally hit a point and said, okay, or did you just go until we sold 40 tickets instead of selling all 50? So we figure we're done. We're going to stop.
Yeah, it's kind of feeling it out. If it's getting kind of slow, you just want to get those tickets sold out and cut it off. Kind of timing it with the timeline of your event as well. You don't want to run it into, through your live auction, or you can, I guess, but kind of being aware of what else is going on in the room. But yeah, you just kind of have feel for it, I guess, of what the demand is and what your timeline is. So like you said, if we're at the 40 and it's kind of stalled out, let's sell the last, tickets we can, and we'll just close it down for the night. So,
I want to get on Jen's question real quick.
It's a good one, Jen. It's awesome.
So
thank you,
Jen
Paula,
asked
for
the question.
as well.
So they currently have a raffle where they sell tickets and you sell them, and then they'll pull 30 different winners. Now, I've got to follow up on that. Jen, do y'all do that specifically at an event? Is there like an event you've sold tickets and you pull them there, or do you just pull them in general, maybe put it on Facebook or something? Let her see if we can ask that question, because I'm kind of curious just to what it is. But the final pull they do, because they start in December, go all the way through March, and the final one is they get either a car or a 20,000 cash. Well, first of all, I definitely think this would work well. Now, I don't know how much total money that you're raising and what your ticket price is. $20
give us some feedback real quick. Yeah.
Car cash raffle to sell tickets to. Okay.
$20 a ticket.
Yeah. So yes, this could absolutely do that. So let me give you an example of what we put together, and I'm just going to put it out here. I hope nobody.
No, I wanted you to show it because
everybody understands what I'm asking is because we're looking for somebody to test this. And so if you have an event coming up this year in the calendar year 2023, and you want to try the never ending raffle, we will donate the first prize. So you've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. So we're going to, and that's up to $2,500 prize. And we've got
really generous. You're really generous when you celebrate your birthday. That's really awesome.
I am. It's my birthday. I
You're
get
a
to do
good
whatever I
guy.
want.
You're a good guy. Drinks are on me.
So if that's something if you would like to, please message us and let us know. We'll connect with you and talk about it. So what we did is we put together this list of 12 options. The most expensive is $2,500. In other words, that's just they get to choose whatever they want. And the most expensive was $2,500. The least expensive was $1,295. Trip to Vegas. So the same amount of tickets. So you sell 50 tickets for $100. It's $5,000. The person comes up and they pick right then. So you know exactly how much money you've just made. So every time you do it, you know. But you're at least making 100% on your money. And so the idea is at the end of the day, let's say that you did it, 4 times. You're going to net, and they pick the most expensive. You would net
Worst case
scenario, you net $10,000, $2,500. Now, this is where it really gets kind of interesting, because if you get the right room and the right group, and people are just going to pick stuff because they pick a $1,500 one, they pick a Vegas, or they pick this, whatever, because most everything's in that,
your margin
less
could
than
be a lot greater.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Your amount you're going to make is going to go up significantly.
Yeah.
And it's going to be something that because it's going to get people involved. I think that's the biggest,
for sure.
One of the pieces that's not what I call an intangible benefit, because it just gets excitement in the room. Energy is a big part of it, because everybody has been to the event and it's all you hear are fork, people on the utensils, and nothing's really going on, and they're kind of talking a little bit, but it's not exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no jazz. This is a way you can put some jazz into your event.
I love
have
that.
something going on. It gives you something to do during dinner. I mean, good grief.
These things are fun. They're just fun. There needs to be an injection of fun at any event. I really believe that it's becoming more and more evident at so many events. And, you just don't want to keep doing things that you've always, injecting something like this, like a never ending raffle, an event where you've never done it. You're going to catch a lot of great attention. You're going to make some money. It's exciting. The whole thing is just so fruitful. I love the idea of the pre-event money getting in the door and getting folks, buying tickets before the event even starts. Most folks are going to be using, event software. So that's going to be really, really easy. Promote it online before the event. Hey, we're going to have what's a never ending raffle? Oh my gosh, they've never had that at the event before. I've been going for the last 6 years. That kind of stuff is real, especially in today's market with donors, because that's what gets them out of their chair, so to speak, and gets them excited.
Well, and it's real simple to do that too. You don't even have to create multiple raffles. You just sell the tickets, and the first 50 go in the first drawing. Let's say that you sold 75 tickets before the event. Well, the first 50 are in the first drawing. You already know what those are. The second 25, you add that to the next 50, and then you just keep going from there. So you really are able to, it gets pretty simple. And if you just use bidder numbers, and I know before anybody says anything, there are some legal stipulations in some of the states. We're not even going to go there.
We'll have I dropped out of law school.
We're not going to give any legal advice, but doing things like just using their number. Literally, you see people just sit there and raise their number up. They'll raise their number. 132.
How many we got you for this time? How many we got you for?
I'll take 5.
Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden, and I mean, and the guy's never stopped eating.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you say that it's efficiency, though. Like, you put, I know that it's very efficient. We were talking about this before we were getting onto the webinar. We were talking yesterday about it. Super efficient way to raise money. Yes, you don't need a ton of interaction. There's a lot of excitement, all these great things. Matt, you made a specific point to me to remind you about scalability as well. So get into that, because it's a couple really cool nuanced things that you added in there when you're with regard to scalability.
Yeah, Jason just gave the example. If it sells out for 4 times and you did really well, you made 10 grand in the worst case scenario in the number we're using. But you have no ceiling. I mean, it could sell out for 8 times. It could sell out for 10. It's really going to capture all the demand you have. Because it can keep turning over multiple times and keep capturing that excitement and people that want to support you throughout the evening. So, I mean, it works great for a 300-person event, like we mentioned. If you have an 800-person event, you could use the same process, and you'll just sell it more times, and do better throughout the event. It'll go faster, and that scarcity mindset will probably perpetuate itself even more.
Yeah.
Well,
People
something I'm just here just because you talked about efficiency. One of the things that we hear continuously is that silent auctions are kind of a pain.
Mhm.
Well, this lets you gamify something, get people involved. You don't have to have all the effort and work that goes into a silent auction. And I'm not here to denigrate that. I'm saying you can do it too, but it lets you raise a significant amount of money in a short amount of time, using that over and over and over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And we're talked about, scaling up, but can you scale it down? What was like the smallest tickets that you ever sold
Mhm.
to do the same thing?
Yeah, we had some really small events. We'd run the same process where we'd have a $20 ticket, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
it worked. You just can't afford to offer as good of prizes, as nice of
Right.
prizes.
Yeah.
I like,
Right.
and your margin of what you're making net dollars for each time you turn it is not as much. But on the other side of that, we had events where we didn't know, it was a small event. We didn't know how many times we'd sell this out, and we sold it out 12 times. We ran a $20 price point. So for that event and the size of the event, that was a great income for the event. So
Mhm.
it is scalable in that method, the number of
Okay.
tickets you're selling and the price point. But
Well, I
I
think when we're talking
recommend
about galas, wouldn't you guys agree that, and please, anybody comment,
Yeah.
a
We need
hundred
some more
dollars is
questions. Yeah.
is pretty darn easy to get. I mean, if
I like
I think it's
going
like
less than a
walking out
hundred
the door.
dollars is
Yeah.
really, if they can afford 50, they can afford 100. What you're talking about is kind of a different deal, Matt,
a
because
different world. Yeah.
different
Tiny
world.
towns.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
very small town, trying to broaden the base, and
Mhm.
somebody goes and they get into 5 raffles for this for the same $100. But in the gala world, we're typically trying to bring those higher end folks, upper middle income, going all the way up to the one percenters. They've got the disposable income, so if there's something there that they want to see and they get a chance to go do it, they'll do it. And
Mhm.
I've seen it myself where not in this exact application, but the same guys doing stuff over and over and over again because they want to try to win something. And
Mhm.
it's the competition just gets there. I want to win.
Yeah.
And not to say you couldn't go above $100 ticket price. It could be a
Mhm.
$200 ticket price, and you could, cut those odds in half or have a bigger take the first round. But the
Yeah.
lower you can keep those odds, and I think $100 is great. I would steer you towards that. I think that's a good number and an easy number to do. But
Love
uh,
that.
if you had the right event, maybe you want to do a $250 ticket. I mean, and steer your odds, make your odds really well, and hopefully turn it over more times. So it is flexible in that manner. But I'd
Love
like
it.
to circle back on Jen's question quick. I mean, I think
Mhm.
that's has my wheels turning, I think, and
Yeah.
I'd love to ask you
That
some
is
more
an
questions.
interesting model,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, in this manner, it really increases demand because as I'm reading your raffle, there's doesn't sound like there's a cap number of tickets, and I guess when I'm buying a raffle ticket, it's nice to know, and I think people are always curious. Most people want to donate to your cause and support you, but if you can tell them, and every 50 people that buy a ticket, you're going to get a choice of a lot of prizes,
Mhm.
that something you're going to love, this might be a great application for you or some variation of it. And you're going to have a, 50, you're going to double your money on your investment over time. So
Mhm.
it can scale and you really limit your risk because it sounds like you're committing to up front in your raffle, either 20,000 cash or a vehicle, where this is really scalable. If for some reason your volunteer support, didn't get the word out, you still have great odds and great prizes for people to choose from. But if you fell short of your goal, you still have great prizes and you're going to make double your money on all your investment. But say you exceed your goal, this will just continue scaling your efforts, and you might make more money this way. But I've
I'm
tried it that way.
curious.
But I'd like to
Yeah.
try it someday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm curious about this. Jen, I don't know how many years you've been doing this, but how often do folks choose the cash in your just ballpark? If you've been running it a number of years, sounds like you have some experience with it. And then is the car donated? I'm just curious. Just the mechanics there. 'Cause it's a unique raffle. It's cool. Yeah.
Very
I've seen like
cool.
RVs and cash. Sell about 5,000 tickets, Jen says. Wow. Good for you. That's awesome. So
I want to just tell
$100,000.
you, if you're getting a car donated, there's only one event in my entire career of doing that I ever saw where there was a vehicle donated.
Yeah.
And it was everybody always says, yeah, we want to get a car.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
not
not
donated.
donated. It's
Yeah.
hard to get that. It's hard to get that done.
Do folks
Just,
typically choose the cash, Jen, as well? I was just curious. Or do they choose the car? Just curious. But hey, I had a really
they
off the
choose the
wall.
cash almost every time.
Okay. Okay, cool.
That's what I was going to say. I bet that's the
Nice.
case. Yep.
Cash. Yeah. Hey guys, how are most of these tickets sold? We'll ask. And thanks for the feedback, Jen. Appreciate you. How are most of the tickets sold, online or email? We only sell about 50 to 70 raffle tickets for a bottle of Pappy. That's fun. Is the bottle typically donated, Will? Just so we understand all the layers of that. And then how much are you selling the tickets for? We're big believers in selling the tickets pre-event online. Are you using, software, mobile bidding software? That'd be awesome. And does it culminate in an event, announcing the winner at an event? Give us some feedback there. Oh, cool. First year in fundraising. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Well, 50
and 50
so
bucks.
they're selling $1,000 bottle of Pappy.
Hey, brother, I
know,
right away, if you don't mind me getting opinionated, I'd raise the price on that. I mean, it's a bottle of Pappy. I think if you can sell them for 50, Jason just mentioned this. We talk about it all. If you can sell it for 50, you can sell them for 100.
Yeah.
There's more than one way to skin a cat for sure.
Well, coming back around to the endless raffle, tell us some of the times that we always want to hear the success story. Tell us have you had a train wreck with it where something didn't go so well? And
that's a good one.
You kind
of, not really. I would say you just need to be careful on, that time when you turn it over. I can think of one instance where, the person running the raffle started again, and it probably wasn't the time. We really had that demand slow down, and they started another one, and it really wasn't the time to do that. So we had to kind of, hustle a little bit to sell those
timing during the event, like it's like the live auction's going. Don't do it right now. That kind of thing.
Right. We should have cut it off, instead of opening up one more when we sold 6 and we opened a 7th, and we should have just called it good for the night. That's really the only risk with this. That's why I like it so much, because you're offering great prizes. You're keeping odds very good. Your net income on it is great. And that's the only thing you have to watch out for, is just to be cautious about open the last one when you shouldn't, I would say.
Yeah.
So, cool. Any more questions?
I had a silly question. I said I was going to say it. I didn't say it yet. But yeah, audience, please, any questions? Good feedback. Hopefully all the information is really digestible for folks. I know it's a new concept, but
I want to just tell you, we're talking about the economics of it. You can still get this underwritten.
Oh,
just telling you, you can go get this underwritten.
Well, you just underwrote it for someone a little while ago, too.
I did, yeah. So we're going to underwrite one for somebody.
That's easy.
They're going to want to do it.
That's easy. Fair enough. We got a question.
Well, you know what we found, and I'm not saying this because we're in the business, but people have enough stuff. They got enough stuff. Now, Pappy Van Winkle's a very unique thing.
That's really cool.
And if people have any idea what it is, they're going to do it. Because if you can buy a $50 ticket to possibly win something that you would never pay for, that's a really awesome thing. But what we found is people want experiences and they want to go places. It's what this is the business we're in. So
easy for us. We're the trips and experience.
Easy for us.
So,
But people want access. In other words, they want something that they can't ordinarily get.
Yeah.
Pappy's kind of a cool thing like that. So it hits in that situation. But they want experiences. And here's the other part. Most everybody that you're dealing with in your donor base travel. They all do.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
So it's one more way that they can do it. They're like, I'm going to go on a trip anyway. It's
exciting. I got to be honest with you. Cars and cash are exciting. Pappy's exciting. Experiences are exciting. It gets people out of their chair to buy tickets, or even if they don't want to get out of their chair and buy tickets, but you get my point. We don't have we don't have that poster like we were going to just put it up real quick. We should put it in the notes with the recording tomorrow.
I think we've got it. You've got it handy, don't you, Matt?
You haven't?
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
Yeah, we're just, and I only want to do it for context. Yeah. Just so folks can see we laid out.
Yeah, we're not trying to be. We don't want to.
Yeah, it's really cool though.
Honestly, this is in a pilot program. That's why I offered it up.
But I just thought
for free for somebody because we want to see it tried out.
If I'm letting the cat out of the bag, you guys don't want me to pump the brakes. But I just think it'd be cool for context. You know what I mean? Just to see. And Matt did mention the fundamentals of this never-ending raffle is have a myriad of choices for folks, and choices that you can. If the first person that wins chooses an experience at the beach to Cabo, great. the next person can choose the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
okay. Go, oh, they chose it. I'm going to choose that too because I want to go with them or whatever.
Well, and the other thing that happens
Yeah.
is they'll sit there and they'll go, "Oh, somebody already took that. I'm done." That's what
Yeah,
they wanted.
precisely. But
So you
knowing
want to be
and
able to make
advertising
sure
that.
that they have multiple options.
Yeah, good idea. Yep, making sure they're aware. If you can't find it, no worries. We'll put it in the recording.
Yeah, I'm slow to get it
that
here.
will go out. But I just saw it yesterday for the first time. It looks great. So, but once again, folks, just had 12 different options for folks to choose from, which I think more options is better. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? I think that's the way to do it. No sweat at all, Matt. Not a big deal, bro.
I'm struggling, guys. Here,
yeah, don't worry about it. We'll put it, like I said, we'll put it in the
awesome.
recording. We'll put it in the recording just to give folks context so they can see a real live, marketing piece for this. And it shows really, really well. But you could do the same thing with your own stuff if you want, what have you, just once again for context.
Oh, I've got it right here. Heck.
Come on now.
What are you talking about? What are we talking about here?
Come on now. I want another call for questions. If anyone
notes
has any questions
my computer.
or anything about context or the fundamentals of this, because we're gonna draw a winner here soon and answer any more questions you might have. I think it's really cool. Oh,
Yeah,
my
don't go
silly
anywhere
question.
because I've got the winner. It might be you.
My silly question was, is there any cross marketing potential with having these different items on the silent auction table, but also so there's some symmetry? It's like, oh, I see those 6 items on the silent auction table and I can buy them outright, or I can get involved in the raffle. And I was just thinking some weird cross marketing option. I don't know if you've never done it. It sounds like.
No, I don't think I have, but I think it's a good idea. Even
I think it'd be kind of fun.
Hey, you missed your chance at going on one of these,
don't know if it's confusing. Don't know. Maybe you circle back in the live with it. Don't know. Yeah. Kind of fun.
A good idea. Very good idea.
Oh, thanks, Paula. Yeah, I think it could be an idea. Just there's once again, there's some cross marketing potential with all of these opportunities. Oh, cool. There you go. If you got Pat,
kind of
there we go.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, so we call it Ticket to Paradise, and so they've got 12 options.
Yep.
And it's also got a little QR code on here, so they can pull it up and actually see a video of the trip. They can look at them to do that, and then they would make their choice. So it's a neat piece of. And what we do is put this on a banner, like the pull up banner, so that way it's pretty good size. You can see it.
Super cool. Yeah, I think that's fun.
That's what it is. I
think that's fun. Yeah, anyone any questions or anything like that? Well, we got Matt's obviously done this, and if you're watching this as a recording, Matt's available. You can go to hjafundraising.com, click on the free coaching button, and spend a half hour with Matt talking about the never ending raffle. He's also a silent auction expert, knows a lot about live auction, knows a lot about fundraising.
Okay. Well, guys, I've got a winner.
Cool, man. Cool.
All right. So Julie Locks, and I hope I said that right. So I hope I said your name right. Julie Locks, you're the winner. So
right on, Julie.
A big hand.
Cool. Julie wins. Julie wins.
And congratulations.
Hey, Julie, where are you from and what organization are you raising money for? Will you put that in the chat if you don't mind? And congrats on winning. That's awesome.
Will.
What's up?
Will said it was rigged.
It's rigged. Yeah. That's awesome. Thanks for coming on, Will. Appreciate you. Hey, if there's anything that you said you're new to fundraising, if there's anything we can do to help, Matt at hjfundraising.com, Jason at hjfundraising.com, Trevor at hjfundraising.com. Reach out, man, anytime if you need anything at all. We're here to help. Our time is free. We give our best information on how to raise money away for free. So,
well, the funny thing is this is 90% of all the coaching calls we do is all pre-event fundraising.
Yeah,
everybody thinks, oh yeah, they're just going to get on there and talk about their stuff. We never do. It just never comes up.
I'll talk about.
East Side Elves. Hey, yeah.
Far out. Right on. Side. Cool. Good for you, Julie. That's awesome. We'll get that item. It's a cool auction item that you can use as a game prize or a silent auction item that you can use at your next event.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And once again, if
great.
anybody wants to try that, just shoot me an email at Jason at
Yeah.
HJ Fundraising. Put a note down there. We'll get a hold of you. If you'd
That's
like, if
awesome.
you've got an event coming up this year, we're looking for somebody in 2023. I know it's short notice, but November, December.
Yep.
We'd love to be able to try it out, and we'll donate the first item sold. So,
Julie, we love the Valley of the
There you
Sun.
go.
We're big fans of your area, and thanks so much for coming on. That's really, really cool, and congrats on winning. Do us a favor, everybody. Jason mentioned this. Yeah, the best thing that you can do for us, if there's anything, would be to share it with someone in your network. Share it with someone in the nonprofit space if they can get any value out of this. Word of mouth is how we spread the word, and we can't thank everybody for coming. Hopefully, we'll see you all next week for episode 138 as well. Matt, tremendous. Thanks a
Appreciate
ton,
it,
brother.
brother.
Really,
Guys.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, Julie. Cool. Well, Julie, reach out to us. We're easy to reach. If you need any help, we're here for you. So thanks so much. All right. Y'all take care. Have a
Appreciate
great
you guys.
Thursday.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
See ya.